The mail room, I be tuned in. Listen in to TaShon, she be going in. Y'all. Black queen for us black kings. We can learn a thing or two when we're locked in. One of the few places we can be heard. Man, I rocks with her, that's my word. The show is enlightening, engagement always enticing. I'm always come with an open mind, I'm never frightened. Guaranteed to walk away with minerals. Now that I'm thinking everything else is minuscule. We're the fools who don't protect black women. No arguing, disrespect, and that's it. Please come in peace when you call in, cause our friends ain't no slouch, fair warning. The mail room, messages from him. Y'all better listen if you wanna win. The mail room to stay, the mail room, yes, it's here to stay. Messages from him, tune in. The mail room to stay, the mail room, yes, it's here to stay. Messages from him, tune in. The mail room to stay, the mail room, yes, it's here to stay. Messages from him, tune in. The mail room to stay, the mail room, yes, it's here to stay. Messages from him, tune in.
Yo, what's
Yo!
up? What's
Yes.
up?
What's going on?
Mail room messages from TaShon and Friends. Listen, but before we get started, TMR is sponsored by Swag Her Magazine and TLC Coaching Services and hosted on 101 TKO Radio, the new podcast segment. TMR, that's who we are. So listen up, good people. We're back for season 6 in podcast form. We are now coming to you on all major podcast platforms, including Apple, Spotify, Google, and 101 TKO Radio podcast. So subscribe to your YouTube, the Mailroom 7671, and download the 101 TKO Radio app to listen to the episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Listen.
Love it.
Yes. Listen, it's so much that's happening and good things that's happening. I'm gonna have to get Johnny to do this other commercial for me with my therapy card. I'm so elated to have partnered with Dr. Ebony, who's a licensed psychology. She has created my therapy cards, right, for black men.
Oh,
Black men in relationships. So, listen, it's not a substitute for therapy, but it's just something to get us going and get us, getting these conversations going. So, listen, you guys, you can go to my link here on YouTube and on IG. There's a link where you can purchase your cards, my therapy cards. You can do it in the privacy of your own home. It's for black men, relationships, and I have them for our black women as well. So it's like the whole package. You can get the whole bundle and all of that. So listen, I'm so uber excited about that. I don't even know what to do because y'all know how how important that is to me. So, and we talked about that last week on IG, Johnny, and we had DJ Tig about the importance of building that safe space. So my therapy cards it's going to allow you all to be in that safe space. And the cards, oh my gosh, they are just mind blowing. They're literally created with the black man in mind. So make sure you go click that link in the bio, and you can go ahead and get you a set. They're cute.
Yeah.
Okay, let me rephrase because I know guys don't want to be like they cute, but they they nice. They are
dope,
nice.
They dope.
So I love it. And for a relationship,
is it set for men and for women, or what is it?
It's one for men, the black man, for the black woman, and then the relationship.
Okay.
So it's bridging that communication gap in our relationship. That's what TMR is all about. So listen, I got my friends on today. I got DJ Johnny Prince.
Yeah. We hear
How you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling amazing. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Then I have my other friend. She part of the crew. She been on so many times with us because Erica be coming with the fire. My girl, certified sexual health consultant Erica Smith. How you doing?
Yeah.
AKA Lady E.
Yeah. So excited to be here. My people.
Glad you're here.
We
Glad
love
you're here.
you, Erica.
Thank
We
you,
love
thank you,
you.
thank you.
Yeah.
And of course, our other co-hosts are keep them in prayers and so forth. And so, but they'll be back on next week or hopefully or so. But we're gonna do this thing today.
We're gonna
Yes.
do this thing today.
We are talking about intimacy. This is Love Month, Black History Love
Come
Month,
on now.
and
Come on
this
now.
month we're talking about intimacy. But
Mm-hmm.
before we start that, I got to give the brow. I got to give the brow. It's so many
Oh,
people I got to give the brow
Not the
to.
brow.
yes, the brow. Who the brow get?
Listen, well, the first brow goes to the students at Mays High School this week with the shooting. They shot 4 people, and
Wow.
I'm just not understanding what is going on. It wasn't the school shooting inside the building. It was supposed to happen in a parking lot, which is still just as bad. But you know, and this is like the third or fourth high school within this month that has been going through that. And you know, we just got to keep our kids
In
in prayer.
Atlanta?
Yeah, Mays High School, right
So
here in
I have
Atlanta.
to I have to speak on that just a tad bit
Yeah.
because my baby girl is a graduate of the, as she would put it,
Yeah,
Benjamin Elijah Mays High
yeah.
School. And we are just in awe because this is about the third incident on that campus
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
has not been of good standing order,
Right.
that has not been representation of the high school as we know it.
Right. Exactly.
Great Atlanta leaders have come out of
Mm-hmm.
Benjamin E. Mays High School
Mm-hmm.
to include my baby.
No doubt.
Exactly.
So, and it's so interesting because one of their sayings for being a student there is, they get teased, my, aren't you sedity? So the behavior that is taking place right now is
Yeah.
so remotely far from what I experienced as a parent there, what
Yeah.
my daughter experienced as a student there.
Yeah.
And I'm just not understanding what the heck is going on.
I don't either,
Um,
Erica. I don't either. And it's sad because you send your children to school, and I don't know if everyone was involved. You know, I don't know all of the details, but it just doesn't make any sense, you
for
know.
it to take place on an educational campus, number
Yeah,
one, it shouldn't be taking place anywhere. There's
exactly.
just too many guns accessible to young people,
Yeah.
and it's just not right.
It's not. It's just not right. It's just too much. So keeping everyone in prayer
Right.
and so forth. The Usher Bowl. The Usher Bowl. Did y'all watch the Usher Bowl?
The Usher Bowl.
The Usher Bowl.
It was a oh, listen, I don't know if
I'm
it was
just
kind
saying,
of
who played?
it
Who
was
played in the game?
I don't who knows who won who knows.
Was it the Kansas City Chiefs
Kansas
and
City
49ers?
Chiefs and the 49ers. Yeah,
It was the Usher Bowl. It was the Usher
Straight
Bowl.
up the Usher Bowl.
Yes.
Coming
What
from
y'all
you
think
live
about the halftime
from the
show?
ATL.
Listen, what I should say, he brought the world to the ATL. He did. They did a phenomenal job. They did a phenomenal job.
Absolutely.
And everybody was complaining about this. That's not what they expected. But I don't think people really understand. Those performers have less than 15 minutes to like put everything together, all the theatrics and all of that. You know, like what are people really expecting? He did his Vegas show for his halftime. You know, so I don't know. People, you know, you're never gonna satisfy. But I did have to get a brow to my boy JD, you know, with them
What?
Louis
Who told him to
Vuitton
wear that?
socks.
Who told him to
He
wear
gets
that?
the brow. He gets the brow.
Who told him to wear that? Is that classic Atlanta? Is that old
No,
school
and
Atlanta?
I think that's what the part was. I think people were like, we know him as classic Atlanta, right?
Right,
So to see
exactly.
him come out like that, because people were like, oh, y'all tearing him down. Like, ain't nobody tearing him down. We just like surprised to see that look versus the Atlanta look. And you know, we know that artists evolve, but hey, it was a cool look for him.
I'm going to defend him just a tad bit since
Yeah.
the thought process behind JD, because I
Yeah.
really didn't know. But with that in mind, with Atlanta being in the Bible-based Southern state,
Yeah.
I have to say
Oh,
that
Lord.
one of my fondest memories for myself as a child and for
Uh-huh.
raising my daughters were those socks.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna have to take it there. I'm gonna have to defend him if
Yeah,
he's
nah.
classic Atlanta. We go
Nah.
to church down here.
Right. Yeah.
So
But
listen,
I'm gonna have
we
to
are
stop you there.
next month is Easter Sunday. We need to get them babies back to wearing
I'm
them
not-
kind of socks.
I'm gonna have to
the
stop
classic
you there.
socks. As long
Now,
as they want to
I was surprised to see it on him. I was surprised to see it on him. But if we talking
That's what I'm
classic,
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like I was surprised.
That's what y'all
to
do in
see
Atlanta? That's what y'all do? That's what y'all do in
listen,
Atlanta?
I
listen.
mean, but you know,
I'm
also
just saying.
Atlanta is fashion hub too. You know, we are fashionistas out here.
Shit, you
We're a
sure
little
is.
behind from LA and New York, but we there. You know, you got your own style. So you know, I'm
But
just saying
DJ
it was-
Prince, I'm born and raised in New York. I wore
I know.
those socks on Sunday morning, and boy, and when Easter came, they was bigger and had more
Fluffier.
ruffles, and they came in various different colors to match your dress and everything.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
if we talking classic,
Mhm.
he brought it back for the church folks.
It did. Hey, Melody.
Listen,
It did.
I want
It did.
the mamas to put them babies back in those kind of socks.
Oh my God.
But you know what? I love JD, and even he posted. He was like, "Oh, y'all got jokes. I see. I got you." So he wasn't even offended by it. He knew because we know him as classic JD. So you know, so he had a good humor with it too. The entire show, ATL represented. I am so I'm so happy for that whole ATL crew because we all grew up together. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
this is Lil Jon coming out with the meditation. That's gonna be interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. What?
What? All right, Little John. All right.
He
Well, I
coming out
tell
with
you.
his meditation. Listen, I
Okay.
guess everybody's like, listen, we done already been through all that. It's time for us to bring it on down.
It's time to bring it all the way down.
All the way down between Snoop with
Namaste.
Andre. Right. No.
Namaste, my
Listen,
right.
What?
we need some meditation. We
sure
do.
do.
More meditation. We can do less shooting.
That's right.
Listen, that's what I'm hoping. So I'm proud of them. I really am. Just to see
I
the
am
evolution.
proud because I saw so many different aspects.
Yeah.
Of not just Atlanta, but
Yeah.
while we're in the midst of Black History Month,
Yeah.
I feel as though that he paid tribute to a lot of Black musical icons that hit that stage before him.
Yeah.
The Black culture when it comes to education, bringing
Right.
out. I mean, he's not the first who had a HBCU band out,
Right.
but nonetheless, he had one.
Yep.
Right.
It would have been the bomb if he would have just had Morris Brown
Hey.
alumni drumline.
Oh,
That's what he
yeah,
needed.
we did have a brown night in the show.
I know he did. Oh, that my skater.
Yes, we had her in the show. So
Kim does her
always
thing.
Right. So of course, when we saw her, we cut up. That was it. That's
Cut
all
a
you saw the
fool.
timeline.
So I mean, the one glove, you can't tell me that he wasn't paying homage to Michael
Right,
Jackson.
right. Even with
No
the
doubt.
sock, the sock was paying homage to like Michael Jackson with the socks,
Yes.
with her and representing Prince, So it was a lot of symbolic messages in that. And so for Alicia Keys did an awesome job. All of them did really well.
Absolutely
They
amazing.
really did. So, shout outs to Usher and the crew, the ATL. He brought ATL to the world.
He
that's
surely
what he
did.
Other
And,
than that
y'all,
opening note.
And it was crazy. I heard people was talking about protesting, watching it. And
yeah, it was.
Did
so
they know the
wonderful.
itinerary? Did they know his agenda?
Right, like come on, y'all really. I mean, if you don't want to watch it, just don't watch it. Shoot, I mean, so what? And it still happened. Everybody got paid, and it went on. So, listen, what about Club Shay Shay? in the entertainment world.
Wait a minute.
I'm just gonna sip on my tea.
Wait a minute.
Who's the latest? Monique on there, right?
I didn't see that one yet, but I definitely want to see
Yeah, I
it.
saw some of it. But this is what I want people to understand. All of them are getting paid. People, y'all do know that out there in the world, they're getting paid. It's all part of their marketing because they're all going on tour, shows, all of this stuff. It's just that they have some good PR people. They got some good market, all of that. So people are getting all up in why they did. Listen, I guess the entertainment world is just ready to tell on each other. They snitching on each other. I guess that's what's happening. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know.
Yeah, but Shay
Interesting.
Shay,
I
love Shay
mean,
Shay.
much
So,
success to.
I don't know. It's pure entertainment for me though.
I definitely feel that it's a major form of entertainment, but I also think that each artist that has been a guest is sharing some form of truth.
Yeah, now,
It's a very from history.
yeah.
It's not a safe industry.
No, it's
You know.
not.
It's a cutthroat industry.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think for me, the troublesome factor is that in the beginning, we felt those pressures and those ills that some of these artists are describing today from the outside community, from
right.
those that did not look like us. So
Yeah,
I think what's so devastating for them who are expressing it is the fact that it's coming from their own kind.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
And they're not expecting the cutthroat types.
yeah,
They're not expecting the blackball and things of that nature. So it just, if it is so, it just hurts. It just cuts a little bit different
yeah,
when it
yeah,
comes from your own kind because you're
yeah,
not expecting it. You go in so blindsided. And to be honest with you, that's a form of intimacy that's been broken
yeah.
Mm.
That trust.
because
Hold that
mhm.
thought. We're gonna take this quick commercial break, and we're gonna go on ahead, get into this thing.
Tatiana, a knotless technician. Visit her IG at Hair by Tatiana. DJ Johnny Prince, DJ and podcaster. Follow his IG at Be Clear Alert Podcast. Evelyn Whitney, author. Please visit www.evelynwhitney.com. Ernest James, motivational speaker. Please visit www.ebooksbyejames.com.
All right.
Dope.
Shout out to DJ Johnny Prince and Mr. Takeover for creating such excellence.
You know how we do. You know how we do.
Excellence over here.
Yeah. Straight
But
excellent.
listen, we're gonna go ahead and get into this intimacy. And we have our girl, certified sexual health consultant, Erica Smith, who's been in this industry for over a decade now. And so that means you have experience, you have knowledge, and that's what TMR is all about. We don't just want to bring up anybody and everybody. We bring credible people on this show because when we're talking about these topics, this affects our Black man, our Black relationships, and TMR is all about bridging that communication gap and bridging this Black love, y'all. And
Yes.
it's one of those departments that we are intimidated. And if you've been following this show, you've been following me, you know that I talk about this a lot because Erica is one of my is a personal consultant of mine that helped me get back on track with me and Honey when we got married. So, and she's always dear to my heart because she sent me a little love box, y'all, a little love box of goodies and so forth.
Yeah.
She's true to this, she's true to it, and so forth. But listen, Erica, tell us more about who you are, because I can go on and on and on. Because she's my brown night sister, and super, so super proud of her. But Erica, welcome to the show and tell us who you are.
So thank you so much for having me, Coach TaShon, DJ Johnny Prince. I'm so excited
Yeah.
to be here. For those of you who don't know, my name is Erica Smith. I hail from the Empire State of New York, but I'm here in ATL. I'm here in ATL. Been here. I came down to attend Morris Brown College, and the weather was great. And I decided I was never going back to that cold weather.
I hear that. I feel you.
So here I am. I am a mother of 2 adult children. I have a grandson who's going to turn 12 in a few months, and
Already?
already,
Wow.
already.
Wow.
I am a lover of people. Relationships is my thing. I just have a natural caring heart, and I came about pure romance from celebrating a friend's birthday. She had a Mary Kay consultant, and we got all dolled up. Then she brought out the pure romance consultant. And yeah, I was actually going through a change in life when I got into the business, because I never, for those of you who don't know, part of our product line is adult toys. So, and I've never experienced anything like it before. And I was in that room like, I want to do that. It was so much fun, but I was also mesmerized because it was so new to me.
Yeah.
And but one of the things that I always knew was that I could help people with this business, that I could help relationships with this business. I knew that from the very beginning, from the first show that I went into. And y'all excuse me because I think my mascara is leaking.
I feel you. Y'all see me doing a little few things. My lashes are
and so in that, I got into the business, and I've been working. Come this July will be 9 years, and I'm just so surprised. Oh, thank you. So surprised because y'all know I have tried many of businesses.
Yeah.
My family will count them off for you, and I'm really just a wholehearted family person. I have 3 siblings. We call ourselves the Awesome Foursome. And I just don't buy into that narrative that people are always talking about. Family and friends don't support you. We don't subscribe to that in the Smith household. We don't subscribe to that on TMR.
No.
It's interesting because even though TaShon and I went to Morris Brown together, we really did not interact a whole lot. I was a non-traditional student anyway. I had kids when I was on campus.
Yeah.
We really didn't interact, but here we are, full circle.
Full circle.
30 years building great relationships with each other and with other Brownites and other just human beings that have just been so wonderful to meet along this journey. So I'm super excited to continue to share on how to build relationships. I'm happy to be here and talk about intimacy.
That's what, Erica. Like I said, I'm so proud of you, and you always have our support, and we're with you. We don't buy into the whole because our supporters are our motivators. We don't even subscribe to all of that.
Absolutely.
So, DJ Johnny Prince definitely ain't gonna let us like.
Hell no, I don't even pay attention to haters.
Right. I guess it's that New Yorker thing that y'all got, right? Y'all ain't even bothered by all that.
No. Look, we so channel focused that we don't even recognize the negativity. Because we up in New York, you got to keep moving.
So listen, we let's jump into this because this is always the part of relationships that we feel the most intimidated by is the word intimacy, because we automatically think that it's sex, physical sex or whatnot. Tell us about intimacy and what exactly it is, and then we're gonna get down in it because it's an adult show. We know how to talk and as an adult and whatnot. Because I really want men, especially Black men and Black women, to understand that intimacy is not a bad thing. It's
Oh,
not,
not at all.
it's not a competition. So what you see out on the movies and on TV is not going to be the same in your household or whatnot, because I think that is a part of the problem. We look at other couples and we're like, oh, I want to do that, or and I'm guilty of that, because it's like, oh, I want to do that, but everybody's intimacy language is different. So we're going to talk
Everybody's
about
intimacy language is
that. So
um,
tell us
first
what
of
it
all,
is.
we need to understand that intimacy means it's a sense of closeness.
Mm-hmm.
It is the ability to share privilege information. And,
I
and,
like
and
that.
that's a key with another
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
So within that intimacy,
Mhm.
that person could, of course, be a parent. That person could be a sibling, a family member. That person, of course, can be a friend.
Yeah.
So, and the thing about it is that you're sharing your strong emotions, and intimacy is all about trust and vulnerability.
Mm.
Trust and vulnerability, neither of which has anything to do with the physical aspect
Mhm.
of it, but
Yeah.
it's definitely the undergirding to
No
making
doubt.
that physical feel
No doubt.
so great.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you are engaging in intimacy, you're letting your guard down.
Mm.
You're opening up and expressing sides of you, or things that you have experienced
Yeah.
with others, in hopes of lack of betrayal. That's why I say that Shay thing that's going on. People feel as though that
Mm-hmm.
their relationship has been broken. They had trust.
Mm.
They have
Right.
shared some privileged information. They are
Yeah.
hoping to build, and now things have got crossed. So that is
Yeah.
the aspect of intimacy that many of us don't even relate. That it
Right.
girds in trust, vulnerability,
Mm.
and the
Okay.
sharing
Okay.
of yourself,
Okay.
and vice
Mm-hmm.
versa. The other person is also being vulnerable with you, and that is the
Okay.
critical aspect of intimacy. Is
Mm.
and that's why when people talk about, oh, the trust is not there, when the
Mm-hmm.
trust has been broken, it is difficult to really engage in a beautiful form of intimacy, because
Mm.
now
Okay. So now when you're talking about the relationships between the man and the woman, that's that trust that they're building, right? Like really forming.
right, right,
Okay. So this is my question. Is it, if a couple has been married 6, 7 years and they never really experienced that intimacy, is it too late for them to develop the intimacy, or has it always been there and it just needs some cultivating, or what?
it simply needs some cultivating, but that cultivating is going to come back from each individual doing some
Mm.
self-reflection.
Mm.
They have to examine themselves to see what's blocking them from, one, allowing themselves to be vulnerable,
Okay.
to share
Mm-hmm.
what, you know, because this is privileged information, this is privileged emotions.
Right.
So if you're not trusting yourself, or if you're not
Mm-hmm.
trusting the other person, there's
Mm-hmm.
going to be difficulties building a strong relationship. So it has to start with yourself. You have to understand you have to understand what you may have experienced in the past, why you're not allowing this person to enter into your
Yeah.
world. It, so
Yeah.
I'm hearing the echo. I don't know if it's me
Yeah,
or
me
not.
too. I hear echo too. So
Um,
I think that uh a lot of people you're right. I agree.
Yeah.
It's not me. I don't know what is going on here. I think that
I
people
removed my stuff. You told me to remove my stuff. I removed my stuff.
I don't know what in the what. Oh gosh, what is that echo coming from?
For those who are just joining us, we have our girls, our certified sexual health consultant, Erica Smith, and we're talking about all things relationship, all things intimacy,
Yeah.
and building that intimacy in our relationships. Because again, it can be intimidating because we're thinking that intimacy involves this, kissing and hugging, holding hands all the time, having sex or sexual intercourse and whatnot. And it's like the movies and, and you see the black love on Instagram and all of that, but it's really not. That's just a form of it. And
Right.
it can become intimidating because, and then that breaks away, from the like, as you stated, the trust, because one partner may be like, oh, well, how come we don't do this like them or whatnot? And then the other partner is like, I don't know too much about all that. That's TV stuff or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Do you encounter that in as a consultant with couples?
So one of the biggest breakdowns that I find, because of course, when I go into my parties, it's actually really all about the physical intimacy, and the physical intimacy in terms of the sexual aspect, because that's our world. However, before you could get into that, if you're looking for a relationship of closeness, yes, I find folks who the biggest breakdown in their relationship is communication.
Yes.
The biggest, and when you are communicating, that's when you are being vulnerable. That's when each of you have the opportunity to share.
Yeah.
And exchange information. Again, that's most often it's privileged information.
Yeah. We have a few comments. Sofa Pillow Toss said, no, it's not. It just depends on them separately. I think he was referring earlier to the question. Pico, she's on my late. And I keep forgetting that they are young women. I was about to say, you can't come into this conversation. You still
TaShon, the girls are in their 30s now.
I know, right? And I'm just like, I still see them as your
as the babies, as the girls.
Babies, that's when the word intimacy is used as euphemism. It does a disservice to the true meaning of intimacy, of which sex is only a part.
Absolutely. Yeah. Agree 100%. Evelyn, I missed you today. I was so hoping that you was going to be in the room. Pray that all is well with you and your family.
So the communication part is the part I think that we need to again bridge that gap and so forth. Sofa Pilatar said intimacy isn't sex, it bring on sex. The one thing I love is conversation. If we can have a conversation that's more mind-blowing than sex. I mean, that's true too, but I still need to have that mind-blowing sex too. I'm just saying,
the deal.
We can talk. Oh, I don't care. We can talk. I don't care, but I still need to be followed up by
TaShon, you stupid.
TaShon, this was so
maybe I'm different.
Because of
maybe
course
I'm different.
it's Love Month, and we get all sorts of tidbits and trainings and articles and stuff to share with our clients. And because it was Love Month, yes, Evelyn is so correct. It's so sad because intimacy. No, big. See, that's my grown adult daughter right there, y'all.
I know that's. I'm like, I'm about to be like, I'm about to kick you out, but you still. I forgot she, like you said, she a young adult. I just you put okay. Sidebar. She put up this. We were doing the something with NBC, and she had the picture of them. I don't know if you remember that they had the white dresses on. You were doing, and they were just so cute. And that's all I keep seeing our babies.
they were probably first and second grade during that time.
Yeah, so that Erica has always been that mother, and her girls. Listen, they are just the most beautiful thing. But anyhow, they're grown women now. Okay, because you in the conversation.
Listen, no, Biko had me at her college, and she introduced me to BDMS.
BDMS. Uh-oh.
Her class was studying it, and she had to get informed.
Wow.
And she
Yeah.
wore this leather outfit, and I was like,
Wow.
"Oh my God, that's a mini me right there."
Wow.
So she's full grown. So I was the
BDSM.
intimacy. This
BDSM.
various BDSM. Oh, see how she grown. She corrected me.
What is that? What is the BDSM?
So break it down, daughter. All those great
Break
words.
it down, please. Because is this something that me and Handsome Honey need to try?
Oh, look.
Is this something?
You're
Hey.
not ready, TaShon. You're not ready.
Oh,
It makes
okay.
me-
No, you ain't ready.
This is why I love Erica. She knows the truth about her clients. And I am not mad at her because I'll be all messed up trying to, if it involves entangled stuff and
Yes. Look, we got some ways to go, sis. We got some ways to
okay.
go.
See,
We're not
this
there
is
yet.
why Erica is the certified sexual health consultant. And all jokes aside, I love her because she knows her clients. She knows what her clients they need, what they desire, and what they're capable of. But she never says you cannot do it. Did y'all hear her say I can't do it? She said that I was not ready. And she's telling the truth because she has talked with me, she has consulted with me, and she knows who I am. So she know I ain't ready for no BDS. I don't need. What is BDSM? What that sound a little freaky. What
You got
is
handcuffs. You got some
So
some
I gotta get
domination in
all
there.
those words for you. I'm hoping that Nobika will get all the words, and then I could share how it's
Well,
broken down for you.
don't get quiet on us now because
Right.
she said you came out in some leather. I want to know. Your
Whips
mama
and
said I can't
chains
wear
and
the leather
stuff.
now.
Yeah, it's like the whips and chains and all that kind of stuff.
Oh
All that
yeah,
kind of stuff.
we ain't no.
When
We ain't
she
doing no
wanted
with
to
no
borrow
handcuffs.
the paddle and the handcuffs, I was like, "What the
Yeah.
what?"
Yeah.
Oh, that involves. Oh yeah, so yeah, that ain't
Mhm.
we ain't
People
locking
into
up
that.
nothing. Yeah, we
People
ain't.
into that.
We ain't whipping on nobody. What she said? Take it easy. Give
She
me a
said,
second.
she coming, because she gonna break it down for us. She coming.
Lord.
So, there's different forms of intimacy.
Yeah.
The physical, and we're gonna get more into each of them. I'm just gonna call out some names. There's the physical intimacy. These are the top 5 that each relationship need to have. And I wanted to bring them up because one of our guests talked about the intellectual intimacy.
Right. Right.
Listen, for me, the one that got away, the first time that he told me he loved me was after he came to visit me on campus. I did a presentation, and I was in my suit. And after my presentation, that man came up to me, told me he was in love. So I guess for him, it was the intellectual intimacy that grabbed his attention. So, and have you all ever just watched somebody deliver a speech or held conversation, and you was like, oh my gosh, this person is just so smart, and you got a little bit turned on. You was like, yeah, I could be around this person. I could be around this sister. I could be around this brother. So that intellectual intimacy is something real. And
Definitely.
and
to
be honest with you, you need to have that intellectual intimacy in the relationship, because that is where communication is taking place. You are having conversation, you're reading, you're studying. Like we opened up the show with worldly events.
Right.
So you want to be able to have conversations with your partner about what's taking place in your community, in your world. So you have that intellectual intimacy. Then of course there's that emotional intimacy. I mean, physical intimacy is the number one, and we're going to get into that. But that emotional intimacy might just be the most important.
Okay.
And I say that it might just be the most important because, again, that is one of the areas when you are building that trust factor.
Yeah.
You're allowing yourself to be vulnerable.
Okay.
and with your sharing and that communication, you're sharing your feelings, you're sharing your dreams
Yeah.
and your struggles. And how many
Yeah.
of us like to share our struggles?
Right.
Yeah. So
Not
you're
many
saying
of
that
us.
we should share that with our partner, our
Yeah.
struggles. Yeah.
So I mean, if your partner is not aware of your fears, if your
Hmm.
partner is not aware of your struggles, that
Hmm.
it makes it difficult to
Yeah.
have a cohesive relationship that y'all can build upon, because you might touch on things that might be a trigger for you
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not even know it.
Yeah.
And a
That's right.
trigger that will set you in a negative space.
Yeah. I
That will
remember you sharing that with me. And I remember having to, when I went to therapy, that was part of my assignment that I had to do. And I remember you telling me that in the very beginning. You were like, TaShon, you're gonna have to share. And I'm like, he don't need to know nothing else about me. He fine. I just,
it's
you
so
know.
that's why
Yeah.
intimacy is so important,
Yeah.
because you're really opening up, you're expressing yourself um with your whole
Ooh,
guard down.
right. We have a good few questions. Melanie said, you're right. Intimacy connects with vulnerability and trust, but it's interesting how once the trust is broken, for some people, they still find the need to stay. Hmm.
Because the
Um,
physical intimacy is quite great.
abundant, dominant, sativeness, and the M always catch me off. Oh, that's
Masculism.
that whole, like you said, the whips and chains and all of that.
The
Yeah,
Yeah.
bondage, dominance.
but I ain't ready for all that. No, I'm sorry.
so
Uh,
so even with that,
Robert says, how can I romance my bride while she is healing from a major illness and seeking to remember who I am to her? I
Wow.
want to let her know I still love her. Wow, that's a good question. That's a good question.
so various different forms of intimacy will come into play at this time.
Mm,
That's the emotional intimacy. You want to make sure that your bride knows that you understand what she's going through, that
mm,
you're going to be patient with her as
mm.
she heals, that you're going to be that listening ear for her. And then there is that spiritual connection. Spiritual intimacy is a form of intimacy, and it is one of the top 5 forms of intimacy. And we're not always, and when we think spiritual, we're not always talking about church. But I am, as a Christian, I can't leave out my God. I can't leave out the Bible and
Right.
none of that. So I do have to bring that in. But we're also talking about um, just being a little bit deeper in forms of your intimacy. Total mindfulness.
Mm.
Mm,
Total mindfulness. Being intentional. So the first thing that you want to do to be able to comfort your bride is that you want to listen.
yeah. Yeah.
And you don't want to lead her conversations. You want to allow her to take her time to express herself to you. And if there is the void of the physical aspect in terms of sex, just
Yeah.
know that when you are touching, like hug day was just earlier this week,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
such
Love that.
a closeness with the form of touch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's really where the physical intimacy begins, from birth, even from just carrying the child. You
Yeah.
are forming relationship by just rubbing, you're touching, so that child's already connected to that mother.
Yeah.
So that physical touch, of course it will grow, and of course it could be shared with the opposite sex, and you also will form bond. Massaging
Mm,
is that great form of physical touch. And now depending upon how you rubbing, that massage will either soothe you or it will become sensual, and it will bring on other forms of desire during that time.
Right, right.
I think I want to add to. I think that it's important to, especially in his case, um, maybe it not lead to sex. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it just be, the intimacy of just touching and making her feel, good in the moment. And
Absolutely.
having that kind of patience, because maybe
Absolutely.
sometimes, your partner may have an issue with intimacy because it always leads to that, and they probably don't want to go there all the time. So then it goes back to what you were saying, Erica, as the communication. It's being able to understand and know that, hey, even though I love doing it, it's not, I don't want to do it every single time. You know what I mean? Or I do want to do it every single time. So it's maybe it's just, yeah, I don't know, the
Right.
dynamics of it. If he likes to, every time he get the rubbing and touching, I mean, it's go time. But sometimes when she don't want to go, and vice versa. So you
So
gotta have that knowledge.
you have to have the knowledge, and you have to. There's so many different forms of touch,
Yeah,
Right, no
and
doubt.
uh, depending upon where you're touching and how you touching,
Right.
if you know your partner and what's going to turn them on to where you're entering into that sexual aspect, then you're going to touch them a certain way, and you're
Mhm,
going to touch them in certain places.
yeah,
mhm.
So they're going to have full understanding that that is what you're desiring at that point in time. And
yeah,
Mhm.
and if you're touching them in that place and they're not desiring it, it's okay to say, baby, not tonight, not at this moment.
yeah,
And the two of you have to be willing and able to receive the not now.
Right,
You have to
absolutely.
be able to
Absolutely.
receive the not now with or without explanation.
That's right. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's right.
With or without explanation. Because sometimes if the day was just that down and you just don't want to talk about it because you don't want to relive it,
Mhm.
whatever took place during that day, or you might just had a relapse in something that happened in the past and you just don't want to express yourself at that time. It's
yeah,
just not now. I just need this moment to myself.
yeah,
And it that's okay. And
yeah,
it's okay to say, um, well, baby, I just hug you? Can I just lay here with you?
yeah,
Because sometimes you might get a yes. Sometimes you might get, I just have a moment? I would like to be alone.
yeah. We're gonna
Yeah.
take a quick commercial break. Hold on, hold on.
Melanie Prince, owner of Prince Property Solutions LLC. Please call 646-260-9148. Erica Smith, certified sexual health consultant and intimacy coach for pure romance. Please visit www.prbylady.com. Terrence Martin, owner of Martin Custom Trailers and Repair. Call 404-781-8437. Arlene B. Corley, inspirational speaker and host of the Path podcast. Visit www.arlenebolden.com.
Ooh, wee.
Ooh-wee.
Listen, if y'all are ready to start off
Yes.
your business and you want one of these dope commercials, get with me, connect with me at the mail room on IG. You can DM me there, the mailroom 7671, or you can email me at YGM7671, and
Mhm.
let's get you invested in your business. The home of the $10 shout outs and $25 shout outs. Don't want to miss out on that. So I thank you
Nope.
to all these businesses who did invest and so forth. So if you're just joining us, we are talking with our girl Erica, certified sexual consultant Erica Smith, and we're talking about all things relationship, all things intimacy, and we
Mhm.
had some good questions. She was just sharing with us in response to Robert Goods, another brown night brother. How you doing? Thank you so much
Yeah.
for tuning in. He's a good friend of ours, and he asked, "How can he romance his bride while she's healing from a major illness?" and seeking to remember who he is, and so forth. And he wants to let her know that he still loves her and so forth. So Erica was sharing with us. We also have some other comments. The sofa pillow talk says, that's me and my wife. We make the neighbors know our name all day, any day. LaRon, get off.
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
But we also know anything can make us tired of just sickness is in itself. Intimacy is knowing these things about your partner. Evelyn says some women are often upset with their men who only seem to touch her when he wants it, never just to hug, never just to hold hands, never to touch, never just to touch and be together. Um, uh, Listen, Chef says, "What's up, y'all?" He said, "What's happening?" And what did he
Yeah.
say?
Oh,
Oh,
read it. Read it.
said,
Read
"What's
it.
going on, y'all?"
Look at
DJ, is she skipping over the comment? Is she skipping over the comment?
she's skipping the oh he right there.
He's right there.
Good chef. What up, King? What up, King? What up, King?
Chef, how you doing, my dear? How you doing?
He know you better watch it. He better be watching us on these TV. On the YouTube better be on. That's
Yeah.
what he better be doing. No, that's
Oh,
my handsome honey. That's my handsome honey. And Erica has helped us, has helped tremendously. Like I said, she was our consultant when we first when I got engaged. She knew me, she knew what I was lacking. And so she created this customized love packet for us because she knew I wasn't ready for no BD, and she know I'm still ain't ready for no BDS and H and I and all of that, all of them letters and whatnot.
oh my
I'm
God.
still trying to, I'm still trying to get a hang on some of this stuff. I'm like, ooh, geez, okay. But I do be trying. I ain't gonna say I do be trying a little something. But that's the beauty of having Erica as a certified consultant in this industry because people can give you advice. I granted people can give you advice, but when you have somebody who is in this industry and they know what they're talking about, and it's just not all talk, that makes it even better because now she's not just giving it, so she's educating you on it, and so forth. So we're so glad to have you, Erica, and so forth. So would you say, Sofa, why am I skipping over it? Y'all know how Chef is. I can't read everything he put right now. He about like y'all New Yorkers. Y'all yeah, you can't write. Would you say had I opened the box? Yeah, it's open. Yeah. I opened it. I looked at some of the stuff that she put in there. And I'm like, Erica.
Yo,
It-
listen,
look,
hey.
It took her a minute to open it. It took her even longer minute to use some of the things. But when she did, she was like, "Oh, sis,
It took me like to use that stuff, and I still got some of this stuff still in the packages. This year, you know what? I'm going to break it open this year because this will be our 7th year. I'm gonna.
Let's know how it went.
Send you some fresh new. I'm gonna have to send you some because I don't listen.
Y'all,
I send you some
hey,
fresh
bring
new.
that box in. Let me show them. I'm bring it in. So
we want to see it. Daddy's home.
Listen,
Chef
Chef,
write the notes, y'all. I don't know why he over here.
Chef, I'm on your side, Chef. Listen,
up in the studio.
Oh God!
Put it. Look,
Let's see.
is that his help? That's his help.
What is that? What did he say? No,
He said she's not using it.
he's just looking at it too. This is what he wrote in the back. Bring the box. So
What did it say? What did it say? What did it say? What did it say?
It says she just looking at it. Looking at it.
Listen, I just want all of our male listeners to know that I'm on your side.
Thank you so much.
On y'all side.
I am on your side. When your lady friends, when your lady spouses come to my party, just know that I'm here for them. But the bonus factor is that when they return home, they're gonna be so excited. They're gonna want to become. They
he
They
like
want
was.
to engage in some experimental intimacy.
He was excited about the box. It was like opening up a Christmas gift.
Experiment on
He
me,
brought
baby.
the box in, y'all. He brought the box. You know what?
Yeah,
They really do still have the box.
Woo, look at that. Look at yo, yo,
The box has all kinds of good things.
man, hold on. How do I-
There's a lot of good stuff in here. I don't know if I can open up the box, but she hooked us up. I'm gonna use a lot of the stuff, y'all. Can I show some of this?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
you
can
can show
Look,
me
I
on
don't remember what she has while I'm hollering yes.
Now I have used some.
So let me share some stuff that's safe for the show.
No, Erica.
Let me share what's safe for the
Yo,
show. Since we're talking
she said.
intimacy, since we're talking,
Oh.
that's nice.
Yeah.
Wait a minute now.
Look, so
Yo, y'all crazy.
she's definitely
He
has.
told this your mama what she gave me. This.
What is that strap string thingamajig? What is that?
This little stuff.
Oh, snap. Oh, you got the BDSM box.
So that last product is called the Tickle and Whip, and that is great for physical intimacy.
Yeah.
It's also great for experimental because it involves a little whipping, a little smacking. So it's a little extra. It's a surprise you tease. So that is definitely, and I think, God, that experimental intimacy, yes, the feathers.
He said the feather.
It tickles you in all the right places. That experimental intimacy, I think, is a really good one because now you're saying, I trust you. You're letting your guard down, and it's like, okay, let's go climb this mountain because Chef, we're gonna have a one-on-one after this show, Chef, because obviously from your notes.
He talking about some of the stuff still in plastic. Please help.
Chef, we got you. Chef, we got you.
I just knew he was gonna be in there asleep. I just told him to turn on the YouTube to make sure that.
Listen, you was talking about intimacy. He tuned in because he want to know. He gonna say she not doing that. We ain't doing that.
Please help. You know what? That's all right.
God.
That's all right. But I
Chef,
always tell you the truth, though. I ain't one of these ones be like, oh, I can put it down. No, he ain't lying. I told y'all, I be like, we do need your help, Erica.
He ready to experiment. He ready to put the lab coats on, baby.
So one of the things that Pure Romance is doing differently now is that our party settings was strictly for females. So we have now added males. He's ready to experiment.
He's ready to experiment. I guess that's his sign. He said he ready to experiment.
When you begin to explore new things with your partner, whether it's going to the amusement park and riding that ride that you declared you was never going to ride, whether you out skydiving or jumping out the plane together or what have you, facing your fears, which that's part of experimenting. You're seeing how things can go, right? And when you enter into the sexual intimacy and like, okay, babe, I know this is your fantasy. And you want to explore, begin to explore that together.
We need
okay.
Pay for that.
He brought this in.
Now, sis.
I know, Erica. I know.
Listen. Don't have him use it by himself.
I know, Erica.
That takes minimum work on your behalf.
I know.
Is that the thing?
Yeah.
That is a male product. That could be used solely by the male, and it could be enhanced when the female is using it. In fact, there's a new Buzz article that I'm going to put out.
Ooh.
Listen, there's a new Buzz article that I'm going to put out that is going to be discussing that not so much to get a grip, but the use of the get a grip, because believe it or not, that form of sexual activity. Look at Stephanie, she got her eyes up.
She got her eyes. Girl,
form of sexual activity is being enhanced.
Okay.
It's being explored more, and it's not something that the guys are just doing by themselves. It is being shared with their partner.
Okay.
So what that is doing, that is enhancing your emotional, that is enhancing your experimental. For some of us, that is enhancing your physical intimacy. So which is all going to enhance your emotional. And when you have that emotional and that spiritual, when you have those soul ties together, you can always go back and reflect, because oftentimes they ask, when we lose it, go back to when the times were good.
Go back to the grip.
Go back to the grip.
Go back to the grip. Go back to the grip. If you lose it, go back to the grip.
DJ, some of us got to get the grip first. But yeah.
Oh my God.
Listen.
That's just from him.
Look, he sent his note in. he sent his mail, girl. He said
this is the most interactive he's been. So it's
put them notes in that box, yo. Put them notes in that box.
I'm gonna do right. I'm gonna do better. That's what Sabbath did. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna open up some of these packages.
Okay, all right.
I want to hit on this message from Sofa Pillow.
What do you say?
It is the most important. If you are not healed, if you can't share yourself, what's the point? A lot of men miss out on this because men don't share. Men tend not to be vulnerable because it makes them seem weak. So, brothers, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about. So we think that it's difficult for females to be vulnerable, but I would attest that males have even greater, and I will tell you that's for me, because I am such an emotional spiritual person. You can't share if you can't open up. I can't waste my time is how I feel about it.
Okay.
Because I feel like I'm a very understanding person. I feel like I'm a patient person. And so for me, those types of intimacy is important. So DJ Prince, you're the brother in the room right now.
Okay.
Share with us. Is it easy or is it difficult for you to share those privileged information and details about your life? And do you have a time frame within your relationship? Because I always feel as though that the closer that you the two people get in a relationship is how you release. You don't want to release too much privileged information at the front, because you're learning that person just as well as you're learning yourself. Right. So just on a personal note, if you don't mind asking.
Yeah, it was a point. It was a point where it was very difficult to be vulnerable, to be, to provide that level of intimacy. It was a point where I didn't, I just know that I thought that intimacy was just physical. It was just a closeness of just getting literally physically next to next to her, and just doing, the touching and everything, and then y'all, and then y'all getting it on, But as you get older, as I got older, you learn, I learned that intimacy is not just physical. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's an emotional attachment that is a huge part of intimacy, and for that to occur, you have to have a level of emotional intelligence, which is the issue today. People doesn't have much emotional intelligence, so it makes it a bit harder for them to explore a different level of intimacy. And a lot of people only stick to the physical aspect of it, but if you're able to share turn off the okay if you're able to share a space, an energy, where it doesn't lead to it, or you're not even touching each other, that's a different level of intimacy that I implore people to really explore and get into. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're able to really have that level of intimacy to where something in you ignites without even touching. You know what I mean? That is amazing. I've definitely experienced that level of intimacy. It is amazing.
Yeah.
But it was a point, to go back to the question. It was a point in time where it was definitely hard. I can definitely see, because what it is in the moment, how am I able to protect you in that moment if something happened?
Yeah.
But it shouldn't have to be all about that. It's you're protecting her by letting her be able to be that with you. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I had to grow up and understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's important to allow, your spouse, your lady, to be intimate with you in that aspect, in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to trust that she won't abuse your vulnerability in that moment. But that takes a high level of emotional intelligence for that to occur.
Absolutely.
And I had
And
to build that.
Biko said that lack of teaching in the household, and there's so much taboo still in the household. Do you as a man feel like there is still that taboo that men are not supposed to, or the whole intimacy talk or chat is still like hush hush, like we're afraid, we're still tiptoeing around it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What's crazy is that is the number one most thing that people indulge in besides
Yeah.
drugs is sex. So it's like
Right.
we have to have the conversation. We so gun ho and stuck up on like how to get the correct mate and what to how to get the right mate, the right woman, the right man, but not
Yeah.
knowing how to maintain love, how to maintain a relationship, how to maintain yourself
Yeah.
to get the correct mate. You know what I'm saying? We don't talk about anything of that. Sex. We need to talk
Right.
about that. We need to talk about how important it is to understand that sexual exchange, that energy exchange, and how
Yeah.
that can affect your psyche. Like that is a
Yeah.
serious thing. That's why when you go into multiple partners, stuff like that, you got to have these conversations. Otherwise, they're
Yeah.
going to go out there and just learn these things, and then they're trying to learn themselves through sex. And they
Yeah.
jump from bed to bed to bed, partner to partner to partner, when none of this was addressed at home when it should have been.
right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we are the generation to break
Yeah,
that. We
Mhm.
absolutely.
we we are the generation, and we thank you, Coach TaShon, for providing this platform
Yeah.
for us to do just that.
Yeah.
I grew up in a loving household.
Yeah.
However, there were still topics that were not discussed. Like,
Mhm.
I never forget, my mom caught me and my boyfriend kissing. And
Mhm.
she said, don't y'all be up in there kissing up on no baby.
Mm,
I was
Yeah.
probably about on my second baby before I clearly understood what
Right.
my mother meant. But it all goes to intimacy. It
Yeah.
starts with touch.
Mhm. Mhm.
There's even aesthetics intimacy, the visual
Yeah.
eye.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, most definitely.
So,
Most definitely.
oh, that person is attractive. You
Mhm.
get the touching.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And the more you touch, the more you caress, you are releasing those feel good
Yeah.
oxytocins,
Mhm.
Mhm.
your sensual. So you begin to feel things, and when you begin to your body start talking to you, you want to explore some more, and you're
Yeah.
kissing, and it just gets that just more heightened. So when you just think about, you are sharing, you're kissing, and then next thing you know, you're kind of peeling off your clothes. That's
Yeah.
kissing up on a baby, especially if you ain't using no
Yeah,
But I
condoms and
tell you,
that.
I was on baby number 2, and it hit me, and I
Yeah, they
had to
hit
call
you.
my mama in the middle of the night and tell her, "Now, mommy, why you just didn't say?"
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
really interesting. I started young
Yeah.
Mm.
having sex. I was
Mhm.
real, and I never forget. It was actually kind of funny because I was coming back from a Planned Parenthood place getting my birth control,
Mm.
and my mother just stopped. She was in the block. I'm from New York, so those blocks is kind of long. My mother just stopped, and she just watched me walk down the street. So when I got up to her, she just like, "You having sex?"
Mm.
Mm.
Just from my walk.
No
Uh-huh.
doubt. No
Uh-huh.
doubt.
I
Absolutely.
said, I was so taken back. I was like, huh?
Mhm.
Like, why you ask me that?
Right, right.
But I didn't lie. I was like, yes. So she was like, so do we need to have a talk? I get you some protection? And I was like, oh well, I just came from getting birth control. So she that floored her. I think that that disappointed her,
Mm.
because
Mm.
Okay.
we didn't have to talk. I was doing it. I was doing what I felt I needed to do to take care of myself, to protect myself.
People say
Yeah.
And
heard you here.
so it would have been, I'm saying it would have been a conversation if you you can hear.
You heard. You heard what she asked you.
If you you can hear. I didn't have understanding. I heard, I didn't have understanding. We know when that walk is different.
Yeah, definitely.
So you
You got
know
sons too.
so I would say, because of that experience with my mom, I felt like I cheated her out of part of her parenting,
Okay.
because I was just fast.
Mm.
So, and she always would tell me that I'm going to have double fold of who I was. So when I ended up with 2 girls, I was like, boom, there go one
Yeah.
of them
Yeah.
euphorisms right there. Double fold. I'm a girl, and now I got 2. So
Yeah.
one of the things that I felt like I did differently, was talk with my girls early,
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
like,
Thank you.
so that they will be able to open up and know that I'm your first line of communication. I'm your
Mhm.
Yeah.
point of reference.
Yeah.
Come to me first. I don't want to have to see you walking down the street and be like,
Come.
oh,
Right.
she
Yeah.
doing the do.
Yeah.
How I learned my girls is doing the do. They got smart mouth. Listen, parents. It shows up in different forms.
Yeah.
Oh, you sassing? Oh, you don't got a taste of that life because now you think you're grown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think you're grown. So it's important for us to, quote unquote, break those generational curses, if you will. So I started early with my girls. Soon as I thought they was getting on their cycle, and I was just a few months off, because
Yeah.
our bodies is changing. We're going through emotional changes. We're going through psychological changes. So we become attitudish.
Mm.
We begin to express ourselves in different ways. So I begin to have the chat with them early, and I love me some Lifetime TV.
Yeah.
They had a show on. The girls was in middle school, and it was about sex and using condoms and
Mhm.
whatnot. And I called the girls and all their friends there, because my house was the house for them to hang out. And I let the parents know that we was going to watch this show and we were going to have conversation. I had one parent who did not want her child to be there, but she also did not want to come and pick her up. Well, either you're going to come get her or she's going to now come get her or she's going to be a part of this discussion. Well, baby, I learned so much from that young lady. Because I learned so much because, was talking about all the different color condoms and what it meant. And she was well versed, and we were in middle school at this time. And I did share with the girls that if things came up during our conversation that I felt that their parents needed to know, that I would have to share. And I did. I had called the mom and I thank her for sharing. Mom was mad. She did not have an appreciation. And I don't know, I felt like she thought I was lying, but her young lady was real knowledgeable on the topic at hand. And I was rather concerned because I didn't know where she was picking up this information from. Had she already begun exploring sexually? Did the parent,
Hold that thought. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Hold on.
Kimberly Lewis, owner of Chemistry Treats. Visit her IG at KIMISTRTY_treats. Toki Miller, 50 State Mortgage Loan Officer and owner of Lavish Living LLC. You can reach her at 504-564-4142. Janice Daniel, an esthetician and the owner of The Plush Lab. Visit www.theplushlab.com. Dr. Gina Crawford, owner of The Power Experience Ministry Consulting. Visit www.iscministries633.com.
And again, congratulations to everyone who has invested in their business. And if you would like the $10 shout out, $25 shout out, we are the home. Get with us, DJ Johnny Prince and Mr. Takeover. They be doing us some stuff. But again, this is that platform. If you're a small business working your way up, you got to invest in your business. Connect with us and we'll get you straight. Y'all see that? That's professional right there.
No doubt.
Listen, I just want to say, so professional. One, the graphics, y'all done upgraded on the graphics, but that voice overlaid, that voice overlaid with it. Come on in the room, DJ Johnny Prince.
Thank you so much, baby. My voice is for higher, baby.
Look, that's absolutely wonderful. Yes.
From the young Barry White, baby.
Just joining us here
I
on the
love
Mail
it. I love it.
We are talking with our girl, our certified sexual health consultant, Erica Smith, and we are chatting it up about intimacy and the 5 stages, the different stages of intimacy. And I'm gonna go back to our notes, some of the comments. The Sofa Pillow Talk says, but society tells us that tell them early opens the door. How do you feel about that? I started when I was 13 and feel if my father told me more about, if my father told me more about sex, I do believe I would have been better prepared. Biko says, yes, you kept an open space. And Stephanie says, we are all taught that sex is bad or nasty or even a sin, and we were not taught the beauty of it. And I feel that this is why sex is not practiced in a proper manner. And that is the case, Stephanie. That was my case. When I first, and I know it was generation, I know that each generation teaches, and it was, we know that it was stemmed back from that period of time where sex between the man and the woman was, it was deemed as bad from some of the plantations and so forth. So we know that was passed down, and each generation is supposed to get better, because I lost my virginity at 21. I was legally full grown, but I was made to feel like it was bad or whatnot, because my grandmother and my mom them didn't want me to have a baby out of wedlock like my mother. So of course it was that conditioning and we were not taught properly. So when we
Mhm.
do have these conversations, now it's our generation. We have to change that narrative. So when my niece was born, one of the things I told her mom, I don't want her to be afraid of sex. We want to have this open conversation. And yes, it was a little, difficult. You talking to your niece, but at the same time, when I started opening in that door for her, she was comfortable in telling me. And I told her, I said, yes, sex feels amazing. It's awesome. But there are also some consequences if you don't do X, Y, and Z. You
Right.
know, there are some
Absolutely.
responsibilities that you're not ready for at this age. So, I don't want you to have sex and be out there. But if you choose to do, just know that boom, 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 boom. So that dialogue I think is very important. And it is, we do have to have those honest conversations in our household, because it's no more birds and bees talk. I don't know if people understand. It ain't no more the birds and the bees. Because
Mm.
what's that saying? You gotta talk about the bees, the birds, the birds,
The bees, the bees, the birds, the
the bees,
birds.
bees, birds,
Listen,
birds,
Lord,
birds. You gotta
they
talk
got
about the bees,
they
and the
got
squirrel.
they got a
You
little
know,
complicated. It got a little bit more
yeah.
complicated.
I
Everything
definitely
is,
agree that
you have to have that conversation.
we
Yeah.
need to have the conversation, and we need to have the conversation in the beauty of it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need to have, and like TaShon said, we also need to talk about consequences behind having it prematurely,
Right.
Yeah.
having it unprotected,
Yes.
and all that comes with it. But we definitely do not want to negate the beauty aspect of it, because it is a
Right.
beautiful thing.
Right.
And
Right.
I think that is so important, because I've actually experienced it with my grandson.
Mm-hmm.
His parents, all of us, we're just loving people.
Yeah.
Have that physical, and I just want y'all to know that that physical intimacy, it's so far beyond sex, because we're
Yeah.
talking about kissing, we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about hugging, we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about holding hands, all those innocent aspect of physical intimacy, all those innocent aspects of physical intimacy. It's a good thing to hug, it's a beautiful thing to hold hands. It's Huh, we are what? It's wintertime. We are in the cuddle season. Well,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just know I love me some hugs now. I give
we in
my
the cuddle
hug.
season. So
Give
all
my
of that
hug.
is involved in physical intimacy. So
Mm-hmm.
when you have witnessed it and you have seen it, you don't know that it's wrong.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't know that it's wrong, because now you have seen it. You have seen it in a good form. You have seen it between your parents.
Yeah.
So if you seen it and you go and kiss or hold a hand or hug, or
Mhm.
even allow your hands to do some more exploring, um, it's not an aspect, it's not a time for a beat down. It's a time for open conversation,
Right. Right.
because you're just simply imitating what you have witnessed.
Mm.
And what you have witnessed is not a bad thing when you put it into context.
Of
We are
course.
adults. We understand what the consequences are from
Mhm.
our pleasure.
Yeah.
Right.
Erica, do me a favor. We take a quick tech break. Do you have another device that's up?
My phone,
She gonna
I
Turn
make
your
sure
have
it's on.
volume down,
let me
because I'm hearing echoes now from
from me.
Yeah.
everybody.
Well, if you have headphones, that'd be great. If you have headphones.
I don't have any headphones, but
Oh,
it
okay.
is
But
now
turn your
off.
volume down on
Turn
your
my
other device.
volume
No,
down.
not on the main device, but your phone.
Oh,
If you
my phone, I turned all the channels off on my phone. All my apps are now off.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
that should be quick.
And the
Because
volume is off.
All righty. All right. Back to what you were saying.
So how early you have these conversations with your loved ones, of course that's an individual basis,
Mhm.
but we have to be mindful of what they're seeing in the home. We have to be mindful that now we have these social media streams, so
Mhm.
they're getting the information in real time,
Mhm.
or at least they're getting the visual of things in real time. And it's our responsibility to put some context in with whatever it is that they're seeing from
Right.
outside forces, and even from within the household. We need to share with them what's good and the things that can make it not so good, and how to protect yourself and the family. Because once a kid get created, it's not just the individual who created the kid, it's the whole
Right.
family
Right.
who is taken care of. So I think we also Sofa Pillow talked about um discussing this earlier. My girls they were going into middle school. So
Mhm.
I have to say, here in Georgia,
Mhm.
middle school starts at 6th grade.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's actually a year earlier than in New
Yeah.
York. I think we
Then we
start
then we
seventh
did. Yeah.
grade
Right.
in New York. So 12, anywhere between 11 and 13 is when we began our conversation. And I think that it was important to start the conversation because the body developmental changes to include
Mhm.
menstrual cycles.
Mhm.
Question: how do we
You put that
teach
up.
young women that sex can be a beautiful thing while the world teaches them that for her, any more than one makes her dirty?
Mm.
Look, good question. Good question. Well, one, we should let her know how beautiful. We should teach how beautiful she is. And when I talk about beautiful, I'm talking about the very essence of her being. I'm not talking about her physical beauty.
Mhm.
I'm talking about her softness. I'm talking about her caring aspect.
Right.
I'm talking about her ability to love. I'm talking about her ability to be kind-hearted, because
Mhm.
that sometimes gets taken advantage of when we talk about. We have to share with them. Sometimes parents, it is you sharing your good experiences just as well as your bad. We have to let them know that, one, sorry people, most don't like to hear this, but God created this here body,
Mhm.
and it is a sensual body. And Song of Solomon gives us the best pickup sexy lines there is. And so we have to just make it real simple for them. And one of the easiest ways that you teach them is by having conversations with them, letting them know that it is okay, one, to engage in sexual activity with the proper protections.
Mhm.
You
I think that
tell them about
okay.
the illnesses
Right.
that they can get. You have to tell them about the repercussions. And I see you, Stephanie, when you have more than one partner. So I am that's interesting. It's a tough one for me because I am a one partner kind of person.
One woman man, no doubt.
Mhm.
And so how would I let them know that you have an insatiable appetite, but I'm not going to make you feel dirty about you exploring more than one person, but I am definitely going to advise you on the the problems that can cause, particularly if you're not. The reason why more than one partner at a time becomes so tricky is because oftentimes we're not using protection.
Mm.
Mhm.
And this is where the dirty aspect comes in. Oftentimes we're not using protection. We can come up with some STD.
Mm-hmm.
We can come up with a child, and then we don't know whose it is because we are engaging. So if you're going to say it's okay, you want to make sure to have more than one partner. You want to make sure that you're strongly emphasizing that you're using protection. You want to make sure that you're definitely using that condom, because the condom is going to help prevent the sex and the carrying of the STDs. If you're curious if she meant more than one partner at a time or just the whole body count.
She meant body count. I think she meant body count. But you were
Does
making
our
a great
body
point.
count matter?
But you were making a great point though.
Yeah. Does our body count really matter?
Whoa, that's a whole nother show.
That is a whole other show. It's actually on the list. Does it really matter?
So, ladies, does the body part? I'm gonna say only from a health aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Does it matter?
Mm-hmm.
Well, another aspect also, but to begin, I'm going to say from the health aspect, because I don't know how many people are aware of HPV and how many people are aware of, being able to, the doctors are saying that multiple partners, particularly early in life, can cause some forms of cancer. And so we want to make sure that we're keeping those aspects in mind when we are engaging with multiple partners, or just I mean, because you're gonna have, you living, you're growing older. This partner did not work out, so now you have a new one. So my caution is, hopefully that we're teaching them, one, to not start so early, because that's definitely one of those factors that will cause the illness starting early in life. So help them to delay. Help them to know that they're special and that they're worth waiting for. But baby, if they're just that curious and they need to engage, and they think, because when we're young, we think we have fallen in love.
Yeah, I'm just saying it.
We want to share that love. We want to share that love. And one of the forms of sharing that love is that physical intimacy. And it's going to start with the hugging. It's going to start with the kissing. It's going to start with the touching. All of those things can and cannot lead to the sexual aspect of the physical intimacy. So depending upon how you touch it,
I'm gonna need a report.
Who you like it and how you like it.
You need a report.
I'm gonna need a report. I need to know who these girls were.
Dude, let me ask you this, Erica. Let me ask you this. Do you think sex is just sex?
So sex can be just sex. There's different forms of sex.
Yes, Robert. That soul ties is
the physical sex. The physical sex, the physical sex. Do you think that's just what it is?
So it again, there's different forms of sex. You're gonna have that regular sex. That regular sex can be with emotion, without emotion. It can be straight physical. Yeah, I just want to experience the physical aspect of sex. Then there is that romance sex, where there's actually some intimacy involved in that intimacy in form of your emotions. Like you have good, strong feelings for this person. So, that one is a little bit more intense and a little bit more in tune with each other's feelings. So then you have that relief form of sex. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. We needed to, even as partners, you have this form of sex. Release. You had just, and the reason why you can have that bam, ma'am, thank you, ma'am kind of sex is because sex provides so many benefits. Sex helps decrease depression, helps with your cardiovascular. It helps with, so because sex have various different benefits. It has varied. You perform it for various different reasons. Yeah, sex can be just sex because it could just be sheer physical,
Yeah.
Mm.
and
And
that
I had those moments back in the day. That's how it was. It was just sex. No,
it,
I'm not trying to get
no
tied
self time.
down.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't got time. You can go, leave. It's your time up. Let's go. Go out the front door. Here go your towel. Here go your little goodie bag. Go on. Keep going.
and
Keep moving.
and
That's just it.
and and to Nobiko's point, she goes, that goes in the topic of why men cheat and how they can cheat because it's just sex. It's just the physical aspect of it.
Mm.
And because there is no connection at times, yeah, you can just be in it for the physicality of it. You could just be in it. You can be in it for just the physicality of it. You can be in it because it's experimental. You're getting something, you're doing something different,
Mm.
but it's still just sex to you. And it's like when your man say, but it didn't mean anything. You know, we're more of emotional creatures than they are. So when your man say it didn't mean anything, 9 times out of 10, it probably didn't.
Laurent, what you say bacteria as well? I remember I had to put on my partner stuff down there at an early age.
So that's what I'm talking about.
What you?
When I
Oh, y'all must have been talking about that when I got logged off.
Oh
yes,
yeah, yeah.
so we
Oh, okay. I was about to say what bacteria? What? Oh,
so yeah, you do have to be mindful of those STDs
oh yeah.
because you can cause and just even
Even as a married couple, you
yeah.
get some STDs. I remember being on after my divorce, I was on HIV watch for those 6, 7, well, yeah, about 4 years. And people were like, huh? I'm like, yeah, because it's having an affair. You don't know what, and even I do tell married couples because a lot of women, and I know that's another show too, because women do carry a lot the diseases and whatnot or infections and so forth, and you're not, and that's part of that sexual health. And I do want to bring you back on because that's another discussion that I really want us to start to have too as couples. um and it's not a bad thing because a lot of times the men don't know the sexual health aspect of their female partner, their woman,
Mm-hmm.
and so forth, and we just take for granted, oh, she's good or whatever, but it could be a lot of other things that's going on as well. So yeah.
So Evelyn asks, how are women viewed as unable to have casual sex when many prostitutes are women? Of course, that is extreme, but is she really broken or can she compartmentalize like a man?
I think she can do both. Now
I
the
believe
women,
that she
I
can
mean,
do both
it's a
also.
business. Yeah.
I think that we, when you talk about sex, the actual doing
Physical
of
aspect
physical
of it,
sex,
Yeah.
um
the
we need to,
intercourse.
right, the intercourse, yes, it's a better word. I think we need to look at the actual intercourse a little
Yeah.
differently because
Yeah.
a lot of the issues stem from like that. Like I think that it's a spiritual act. You know what I mean? I think sex, the intercourse, is a spiritual act. I don't think is sex is just sex because
Mhm.
it's a real energy exchange. I think I think if we really think about sex being a spiritual act, then we will understand that me entering just anybody at any time at any will can do some psychiatric like we're not going to have sex with 30, 40 people and don't think it's going to have any psychiatric or cause any, it's not going to affect our psyche. Like
Mhm.
we have to understand that, and I think that's a lot of the issues going on is because people feel that they can have sex with whoever and however many people and not be effect to them whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? It may
Yeah.
not to be at the time, but
Yeah.
at some point that you're going to stop doing that, and now you have to sit and like sit in that because
Yeah.
you've taken on so much energy and we
Soul
just
ties.
don't look at that.
Definitely soul ties is
Soul ties.
definitely
we
energy.
Is Robert?
we don't look, we take that for granted. We, you know, that soul tie, you know, we take on energies and people in situations. However you feel, we may not constantly think, but you can sit there with your spouse, with your wife and whatnot, and there's an energy that you're carrying from previous situations. That's why
And
it's important. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to know your body count, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, if you're going to do that, if you're going to just live free with your body physically like that, just know that there are some there's a repercussion for that. It taps into your mental.
Agree.
I just need you people to know. And I think, and I hope that we're teaching. I've told my son this many times. You can do whatever you want with your physical being. Just know that if you're going to do that, don't think that nothing is going to happen to you psychiatrically.
Yeah.
Just do not go on and think that it's just what it is.
Yeah. That's part of that journey that I tell people. Again, after I got divorced, that's why I said healing in every area. I did not have sex until my sexual there was no sex when I was by myself, like no casual sex or anything, because I had to get rid of those soul ties.
Absolutely.
And people don't understand that is real. And as Robert said earlier, that's like you said, that connects. I don't care what religion, whatever, those soul ties, because you're entering spirits with each other.
Exactly.
So when I left, when I got divorced, that was it with my ex-husband. So then I went in the process of asking God to remove all of the entities that had entered my body and my spirit over time, so that I can become new for Chef.
Absolutely.
Of course, you're not gonna be a re-virgin or whatever. Once you know,
right.
I was new in the spirit because I had broke free of all those soul ties, because that stuff is into your spirit.
Particularly when you are releasing
your
juices.
Right. You cannot.
I agree 100%, Johnny.
I don't understand why people jump from partner to partner to partner, and like you said, Johnny, and feel like you're not going to understand anything. Like the whole polygamy and all of that. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how the world looks at it. You cannot. Those are soul ties. And I know everybody has their own preference or whatever, but you still have soul ties with all of these people. There's no way you can decipher one and be satisfied or whatnot, because again, you're allowing people to enter you, not just the physical, but the mental and the spiritual. That's those soul ties are
real. They're definitely real.
They are
definitely heavy.
And if you don't cleanse properly, and when I say cleanse, that means healing properly.
I like that word, TaShon. I like that word.
You got to cleanse. You got to cleanse. And it took me almost 10 years to clear out, to really cleanse all of my past. And that's why I cannot remember. You ever heard people say, "Oh, I know women do this a lot," and be like, "Child, you know what? He wasn't as good as my ex, or he about as good as my ex." You shouldn't. Once you cleanse, you're not gonna remember any of that stuff. You can't compare. There's no reason why you should. If you're in a healthy relationship, married or committed, for me, it's married, and you're still comparing your old, from old D to your current, you ain't cleansed. Because you should have released all of that. And people really don't understand that. They really do not.
And it's also a mental releasing.
Yeah, it's
definitely.
It's also a mental releasing.
Yeah.
It's a mental releasing.
Yeah. So it's very, very.
You definitely got to do the work, man. It takes a long time. I was tied to a toxic situation. I was tied to a toxic situation for 15 years. It took me, and when I decided to break away, it was years before that. You know what I'm saying? Before I ended it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, dang, like the soul ties is real. That's why it's key to, if you're going to do that, go with the understanding, like, damn, you know what I mean? This, I may be tied to this person, you know what I'm saying? Even though even though I may need this release, even though I
But
may
what I
need
mean,
this mental or physical release, you know what I'm saying? I may be so tied to this person, this toxic situation. That's
Right.
why it's not, you
yeah,
know, this don't go into any situation. It's every situation thinking that, you know, you're not going to be bothered by it. That's not the case. I can listen, I on them on these dating sites and stuff, and you know, dealing with people and stuff, it's like, you know, you could tell, you know, you could
yeah,
really tell that people are still holding on to people, to
yeah,
ideas, to
yeah.
situations from 30 years ago.
For
Oh
30
You
years
know what
wow.
I'm
ago,
saying? They ain't
everything
cleansed.
you will remember if you are cleansed and healed just won't matter. No, I don't remember. And I can say that confidently because when I asked to be cleansed and released of all of that, I don't remember half of the partners. And when I say don't remember, meaning I really, some of it, I don't remember the partners I've had. You know what I'm saying? When I went through that period, because
Mhm.
what I wanted, I was serious about my healing. And of course it doesn't matter, but I can't compare anybody from my past to
Mhm.
what I have now. That was the big difference for me in that cleansing period. And some people said that I was overdoing it. I said, no, how could you overdoing it? If even though it's been by myself for those 8 to 9 years being celibate, I was determined to get rid of all of those spirits out of my body because
That's
that
right.
sex did connect. It kept me connected. And so in order for me to move on, I had to get rid of all of that. I I,
Mhm.
I don't even know. I can't, like, it's for me.
No
I,
doubt,
and
no
I've met
doubt,
some
no
Yeah.
doubt.
other people
You did
that
the
have
work.
gone through that. But and like you said, Jenny, you have to do the work. I can't remember. I don't want to remember anybody back in my past. For what?
That's right.
I'm married to a
That's
whole
right.
new guy.
That's right.
Because if
That's
you
good.
still have that in the background of your
That's good.
mind, guess what? You still gonna be able to compare something from your past to your present, and that's
Right.
not the case. And that's where a lot of women mess up at in these relationships because they still have him in the back of her mind. Hold
Yeah.
on, let's take a quick commercial
Ah,
break. Hold on, here we go.
people fumble good people because they still thinking about that
That
Well,
put yourself
that
well,
alone on that.
intercourse thing. You know what I'm
Put
saying? And this
yourself
is what I'm
alone on
saying.
that.
This is why you
Right.
shouldn't be free nilly willy with your joint, because you're going to have to carry that and heal from that. If you don't heal from it, you're carrying it. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it.
You
That's it.
comparing your
absolutely.
situation, your current
I have.
situation to that. So you have to be mindful of who you're laying down with. Those 30 people you feel it's okay to sleep with, you have to be
Right.
mindful of that and heal
Right.
from that.
Hold
And I
on.
just
Hold
want
on.
to say
Hold
that's
on,
the
y'all. Hold on. Hold on.
Kimberly Lewis, owner of Chemistry Treats. Visit her IG at KIMISTRTY_treats. Toki Miller, 50 State Mortgage Loan Officer and owner of Lavish Living LLC. You can reach her at 504-564-4142. Janice Daniel, an esthetician and the owner of The Plush Lab. Visit www.theplushlab.com. Dr. Gina Crawford, owner of The Power Experience Ministry Consulting. Visit www.iscministries633.com.
so I just want
Ooh,
to
every
say
time I look at them commercials, boy.
that commercials is hot, hot, hot.
Erica, what you were saying?
that that cleansing and that releasing is something that, yes, the females must do, and I'm so glad that Johnny brought it up as the male. We
Yes.
Absolutely.
have to do the
Got to.
cleansing. We have to do the releasing. There's definitely soul ties there from having that sexual intercourse, and you just want to be able to move into your next as open, as cleansed, to be able to enjoy that relationship to the fullness of thereof.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm
Ever
glad I
since
wasn't.
the
I'm sorry, again.
devil. No, go ahead.
I'm glad I wasn't, free with myself, because I
Yeah.
seen it. I grew up in the hood. I've seen
Yeah.
mixed families. I've seen uncles with kids here, kids there. You know what I mean? My friends, my boys' parents, you know, they pops got kids here, kids there. I ain't want that. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
you know, and I understood early on the importance of honing and holding your energy, and know how important and sacred it is. I know that if I was to enter, you know, multiple women, that this is going to have some sort of psychological effect on me years to come. So I kept that. I ain't just like you, TaShon. I ain't lose mine until I was 20. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Everybody
Yeah.
else I knew, they started at 11.
Don't
12.
talk about us early ones. Don't talk about us early birds. Early birds catch the worm.
Man.
I'm just saying, I saw the effects of it from just
Yeah.
being around it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I know that, you know, I didn't want that. So I'm going, you know, preserve and
Yeah.
And the beautiful
for
thing
me,
about
yeah.
lessons is that you're gonna learn them through your own experiences, or you're going
Definitely.
to learn them from being observant of others.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
glad that you were able to see that and know
Yeah.
that that was something that you didn't like,
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
that you noticed wasn't healthy, and
Right.
something that you knew for sure that you would not bring into your world and pass it on to your kids, because that's what we do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Once
Yeah.
we accept it for ourselves, we tend to
Yep.
pass it
We
on.
pass it on. Keep the
Yeah.
cycle
Pass
going.
it on.
Yeah.
Evelyn
You do
says,
pass it on. I was like that. I was like that, Johnny, like you. I even though I admired sets, I
Yeah.
loved it. Even as a child, I was fascinated with it, right? But I
Mhm.
also knew as I got older, I like it, but let me make sure that I'm not connected in that way. So when I was going through that period of just having sets,
Mhm.
I had that in my mind. Listen, we just
Yeah.
having sets and we ain't doing all this lovey-dovey stuff. I just need a cut buddy. You know what I'm saying? Like I had
Mhm.
to make that clear. And then I remember people saying, "Oh, that's acting like a man." And I'm like, "No, that's protect. I don't want to. I'm not trying to get connected like with anybody like that. I just need that physical part." But that was that conversation that we were not having as a group back then. It was just one-sided. And I'm just like, no. So when it was time for me to get serious about my sexual health and my activity, that's when I was like, okay, well, now I'm ready to kind of settle down. I'm ready to get 1-2 person,
Mhm. Right.
narrow
Right.
it down. I want to
Right.
tell them myself, but it's in my book, you know what I'm saying?
No doubt. No doubt.
But,
It's in the book.
but it was like, okay, you had to understand it, because I saw it, like you said, I saw everybody else, going through these. It's already enough going through relationships. And then when you add in sex to it,
Yeah.
that's when a lot of us got crazy, because we gave our bodies away and we connected to these guys. And now that he don't want us no more, that's when the busted windows and slash tires start coming out. Because
yeah,
I didn't gave you part of me now,
me.
but
Exactly.
we had that conversation. You see
The
what I'm saying?
vulnerability of it
That's right.
all. The
That's
Right.
right.
vulnerability of
Like
being
you said,
intimate.
Robert, friends with benefits. And that's the part where we don't want to have that honest
Yeah. That'll
conversation.
get you killed though.
Right, it
Yeah.
will. It
That'll
will
get
if
you
you
killed.
don't have that conversation. And this is why I tell my nieces and my nephews, I
Yeah.
said, listen, whatever you decide to do, make it clear in the beginning.
That's right. That's right.
If you want a cut buddy, tell him or her that
That's
that's all
right.
you
What you
looking for.
want.
That's right.
If you want, I don't know if they using new words, slinky links or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you want a serious relationship, then you let them know, hey, I'm dating with intention. I'm not giving up me physically like that. If you cannot handle that, be done. We're not not just the young ones, but the older ones too. We're not having these honest
That's
conversations.
right.
We're not.
We're not. And this is where you get the emotions and the frustrations and the anger, all because you wasn't clear.
That's
He
right.
he said he did not want to be with
Mhm.
you just per se. He said he was dating other people. So that means for him, it may be I'm sleeping with other people. But in our minds and what we heard, oh, I'm exclusive. We're exclusive. That ain't what he said. Now you upset. That ain't what he said. He said he was dating other people. You trying to make it exclusive. So now
Hold on,
when you
TaShon. You're
find
tapping
out,
into another show. You're tapping into
I
another
know.
show. You're tapping into another show.
That's
Yeah,
gonna be next week. So we're gonna have,
you tapping
listen,
into another show now. Come
I
on.
know you not gonna
Calm
be
down,
Johnny,
baby.
keep us straight, Johnny. Keep us straight, DJ.
springtime coming up, and
She about to be
springtime and summer time coming up, and if people about to be revealed. Shoot, we ain't gonna need Shay to
child.
reveal nothing. All these folks about to be revealed. They didn't have these
Yeah.
winners.
Well, at the end of the day, man, just don't think you just please don't think that you're gonna be able to do whatever you want with your body and have no effects of it. You that is unreality. That is not
Bottom
real.
line.
That's bottom line. That's bottom line.
Bottom
However you
line.
want to fit, however you want to paint it, however, if you feel like doing that, just know what comes with something. It comes with some
That's it.
things.
That's
it. And that's it. Just know it. You know what I mean? That's it. So
That's
go
bottom
ahead,
line.
Erica, what you were saying.
I was reading Robert's
Oh,
Friends
yeah.
with Benefits, and then I read Evelyn's. But is it really a benefit with all the negative effects behind it?
Yeah, probably not. No. Yeah, it's just that's my point. That's what I'm saying. Because of the effect of it, you know what I'm saying? Is it really a benefit? You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. That's why to me, sex ain't just sex.
Yeah. Listen, we have to wrap up this show. Of course, Erica, you got to come back on because it's just so much that we got to talk about with this.
Yeah.
It's just so much, but there are levels to it, and we have to understand that the importance of this intimacy part, it is very crucial in our relationships because these cycles. As Johnny was saying, you're seeing this stuff, and a lot of us are still going through these same cycles, but we have the power to really just say, no, it's okay. Like, I don't really need you like that, or I don't want to, and it's okay. It's your body and whatnot. So listen. Okay, y'all had to bring me back. Okay, I'm gonna need to, because you be seeing some stuff out here, Jen. I don't know about y'all, but you be seeing some of these women and some of these men, and
I see it.
Caught up, and I'll be like, just close your leg.
Yes, that's it. Period.
Just
and fellas, keep to yourself. Exactly.
Yeah,
fellas, keep to yourself, man.
Stop
slinging that thing.
I'm trying to tell you, it's your certified relationship coach. Been there, done that. Close your legs.
Right. Stop slinging that thing.
Close your legs, but also cover your heart.
Yes.
When it comes to that emotional, when you find yourself in a vulnerable state due to a tragic moment in life, we're going to use a death of a loved one. Protect yourself that others is not horning in on your loss, on your sadness, and that they're not fake providing that emotional intimacy that you might be craving during that time. So beware of you yourself not entering into a new relationship, yourself not falling back on an old relationship, particularly when you find yourself in a state of sadness.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Listen, how can we connect with you, Erica? Where can we find you and connect with you?
So I'm out there, y'all. I'm on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, PR by Lady E. On TikTok, I'm PR by Lady E1.
Okay.
Somebody jacked me.
Oh man.
I had to start over.
Wow.
So PR by Lady E. I have of my personal page, and I also have a business page, Pure Romance by Erica. And I'm happy to connect with you all to continue to talk about intimacy and, of course, build those relationships with some good, healthy relationship building products.
Awesome. DJ Johnny Prince, what's coming up for you? Where can we find you?
Just make sure you go ahead and follow, as you can see, at DJ Prince Throwback God. Also follow, the Be Clear Alert podcast. Make sure you tune into that. Make sure you follow Be Clear Alert podcast everywhere except for Facebook. I got some great shows coming up, y'all. So tap in, tune in. And what you got going on, TaShon?
Listen, I am back. I missed 3 days of dancing, but
Yeah.
that should not be an excuse for you all. So I am back on the grind. It's 29 days of dancing. Get your dance
Mhm.
on, and it is all about intimacy. So this dance challenge is with supposed to bring in your loved one. Hopefully, Chef will join me in a dance since he want
Chef
to
said, "Bring the Box Hill dance."
and
Boom.
interrupt the show with all the notes. So I guess I got work to do. So
You got those messages from your main mail. From
That's
your
the
right.
messages from him. So that's what I'll be working on. Working on the doggone bots. Doggone it. So listen, y'all, it's been a fantastic show. Thank you all so much for tuning in.
Thank y'all.
And
Thank y'all.
next week we'll have the Roberts on talking more about intimacy as a couple and so forth. And we're going to finish this month out on intimacy. Erica, thank you so much again.
Thank you so much.
We'll
baby.
be bringing this back up. We're going to keep this going because, again, this is all a part bridging that communication gap in our relationships as Black men and Black women. And it's just good to always have these positive talks and so forth.
Yeah.
So thank y'all so much. Listen, enjoy this
Awesome show. Thank you so much for having me.
No
You're
doubt.
welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. So I got work to do. Let me go in here and put some heels on it. Until next week.
Get a grip. Oh my goodness.
The mail room, I be tuned in. Listening to TaShon, she be going in.
Y'all.
Black queen for us black kings. We can learn a thing or two when we're locked in. One of the few places we can be heard. Man, I rocks with her, that's my word. The show is enlightening, engagement always enticing. I always come with an open mind, I'm never frightened. Guaranteed to walk away with minerals. Now that I'm thinking everything else is minuscule. We're the fools who don't protect black women. No arguing, disrespect, and that's it. Please come in peace when you call in. Cause our friends ain't no slouch, fair warning. The mail room, messages from him. Y'all better listen if you wanna win. The mail room to stay, the mail room, yes, it's here to stay. Messages from him, tune in. The mail room to stay, the mail room, yes, it's here to stay. Messages from him, tune in. The mail room to stay, the mail room, yes, it's here to stay. Messages from him, tune in. The mail room to stay, the mail room, yes, it's here to stay. Messages from him, tune in.